Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of the Battles End live Q&A. We've got a great list of players lined up for y'all tonight. If you're here for the, I think, 14th time we've done this, y'all know the drill. Put questions in the chat. We will ask our players live. And it's your chance really to interact one-on-one with players that you don't get anywhere else. I'm Max Moody. I'm the COO of the Battles End, the NIL collective for Florida State football. If you want to directly support Florida State players and make sure that Coach Norvell and his staff have the tools that they need to respond in 2024 and beyond, go to thebattlesend.com and become a member today. Now, I'm holding a coffee mug in my hands because I have another cool opportunity to tell y'all about. We actually just launched the Battles End Blend with our friends at Grassroots Coffee, FSU alumni-owned business. So go to grassrootscoffee.com and check out their 1 pound bags, 5 pound bags, whatever quantity you need your coffee in. I'm not the biggest coffee guy, but I'm adjusting. Are you a coffee guy at all?
No, I've never taken a sip of coffee in my life.
Really?
Not one.
I was kind of on that. What do you do? Like any caffeine or anything to get going for workouts, or you just like?
No, I've never. I mean, besides like like in some sodas and stuff like that, I've never intentionally taking the caffeine though.
So like 6 a.m. tour duty, you're just in there with your thoughts,
just going off
firing
thoughts.
away.
Yeah, going off pure adrenaline.
I knew you were physically impressive, Keandre Jones, 6-year offensive lineman with us folks. But man, that is mentally impressive. I don't know if I could roll out of bed at 6 a.m. and do that.
It's like I don't know what I'm missing because I've never had it, so it's not that impressive. I don't have a clue what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I haven't really. It's not that. It's not. People always say my mom's she's big on coffee, so she's like, I don't know how you never mentioned that earlier, but I've never had it, so I don't even know what it. You know what I'm saying?
I've been dabbling a bit. I'm a soda guy, but with Grassroots, I actually was like, all right, I'm going to commit. That way, I could try a few different coffees. I can know if ours is good. And folks, it's gotten rave reviews from myself, which I understand I just decredentialed myself. But a lot of people out there that are coffee drinkers are like, yeah, this is legit. It's specialty only, all that. But dude, let's talk about you, man. You joined the program last year, coming from Auburn. You came to a team that had just gone 9-3 in the regular season, added that 10th win in the bowl game, and there were a lot of question marks surrounding. Okay, was that kind of the peak, or was there more? And we saw there was more, right? Y'all finished the season 13-0. You win an ACC championship for the first time in a decade. And just talk to me about this summer and spring, and has it been different at all? What's the mindset been like going into the season now that there really is a target on y'all's back and you've got something to prove?
It's been different, but it hasn't been different at the same time. Because Coach Norvell always preaches the standard regardless of who we playing. Our biggest competitors, day in, day out, week in, week out, are going to be ourselves. We like to think that we'll be the best team that we play against all year. No scrimmages, no practices that we have every week. So, I mean, you can say things are different because the mindset is still the same. We here to win every game. We get a chance to play, and but we are pissed off. We are very pissed off. But that's not going to change. We're not going to do overly. You know what I'm saying? We are Florida State. You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, and look, you talk about like, your practice is going to be the hardest group that you go against, and with the roster you'll have, that may be true. I mean, dude, you're going against Daryl Jackson, Josh Farmer, Marvin Jones Jr., Pat Payton. I know I'm leaving guys off, Daniel Lyons.
NFL guys.
Tons of really high caliber defensive linemen that you have to go against every day. How critical has that been to your improvement as a player going into your final year?
Oh, it's great. I've been blessed in my career to go against a lot of very good defensive linemen throughout practice. Like I said, my past school, I went against guys like Devonte Brown. It's good to see, like, when I got here, people always talk about the SEC, AC thing. There was no drop-off when I walked in the building. No drop-off at all, man. Looking at Daryl, like, he pissed off. He didn't get to play last year. You got Josh. You said you just named guys after guys after guys, and they just as hungry, if not more hungry. You know what I'm saying? So getting to go against those guys has been, like, elite. Because you can't take a day. You can't take a day off. You can't have a bad rep. You can't have a bad snap. You can't have anything, or they're going to make you look and feel bad. So.
Yeah. And again, folks, we'll grab these questions just a second. Super chats get priority. Z-Chan, thank you so much for the super chat there. I'll just go ahead and dive in with his question. So, Keandre, what's your go-to side at the barbecue?
Go-to side at the barbecue. I'm not even a big. I mean, if you consider, is mac and cheese a barbecue food?
Yeah, the side. That's a staple side of barbecue. Okay. You gotta have mac and cheese. Or it's not really a barbecue.
Yeah, it got to be that. But I'm not even a big side guy, to be honest with you. Like,
really?
Especially not barbecue wise. I get me a burger or some chicken or something like that. I literally just cooked a whole bunch of food on the fourth. Was out there for 5-6 hours, and I didn't make not one side. My mom did all that, so
really,
yeah, that's not my forte.
What all did you make? What were you cooking there? Or were you just watching?
I made chicken, steak, burgers, hot dogs, sausage. Well, I put some. My mama liked mushrooms. I put some mushrooms on the grill, grilled some corn. She did the baked beans and macaroni and all that kind of stuff. So we had a good bit of food.
So everything possible was on that grill. That's
yeah.
Dude, all right, invite me next time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Georgia boy. That's how we do.
I love my parents, but we just have burgers and dogs. We didn't have steak. And
we have all
and
that. Yeah.
That sounds like a hell of a fourth. And
Oh,
James B., thank you for the super chat again, folks. Questions in the chat. Super chats get priority. Wants to know, what's your next goal in your development? What's the biggest area you're working on this summer and fall?
Consistency, to be honest with you. Just making sure that, because I had some good games, I had some bad games last year. I'm trying to make sure that every game I put on tape this year is in the best interest of me and the best interest of our program and winning and that kind of thing. So just making sure that every snap I put on tape, every game, every play, I can be the best as I can. And that just comes with, like I said, going against those guys every day, not taking a rep off, getting beat sometimes and being able to respond, those kind of things. So.
And you'll run, like, obviously, an incredibly multiple offense. Is there a blocking scheme you feel like you do particularly well in? And then is there a specific one you're trying to improve in? Or
yeah, I'm definitely more of a downhill kind of counter, gap scheme, inside zone. Those are my kind of. That's what I'm kind of built for, which in turn makes it a little bit harder for me to do things like outside zone and those kind of more wide based plays. And that's really been the main. Thing I'm working on this season is making sure I'm getting off the ball to get to our landmarks on our defensive guys and those kind of things, to make sure that I'm making sure that our backs, all the backs we got, can just get a chance, and they get a chance, and we're going to be just fine.
Yeah, y'all got some bad. I mean, and I'm sure we'll talk about them in a second, because you have some guys that you give them a hole, they get to the outside, and it's over. They're fast. Sure. And Jerry Astinza, I'm sorry, I did my best on that one, Jerry. Jerry asks Keandre, who's the defensive lineman that's the hardest to block, both on FSU, and then who's the hardest you've had to block on opposing teams?
On FSU, you can't. Josh Foreman and Daryl Jackson are so they're so they're different, but they're both so they have such violent hands, and I think to me that's one of the most essential things a defensive lineman can have is the violent and just aggressive hands, and Daryl is so long too. So when he locks you out, it's kind of hard. I'm not a big long arm guy, so when he gets all the way extended, it's hard to keep in contact with him. So those two guys there for sure, the two interior guys, they're different. They're a little bit different,
Getting into the weeds for a sec. So how do you deal? You got a guy, Daryl Jackson, folks. If you're not familiar, 6'6". So
will be.
When you're in pass pro and you're trying to get that first punch on him, but he can get that length. I mean, how do you go about doing that? Because obviously you don't want your first move to be too defensive, but when that hand comes at you, you're not going to hit him first. So how do you approach that? Yeah,
it's one of those things where you kind of got to it's KYP, you know your personnel. You kind of got to know how what he likes to do, what he doesn't like to do, what he's good at, what he's working on, those kind of things. So just more so, I'm a stronger guy, so I can play a little bit more at the line of scrimmage, and that'll give me a little bit more of a. He don't get as much going. He don't get because he get 2 steps in the ground. That's a bad man.
We try to get like a good jump set on him so you can really throw his footwork off.
If he get 2 steps in the ground, it's gonna be hard for anybody in the country to stop that man. Yeah. So you can't let him get them 2 steps in the ground. If you can try to get him off on that first 1.5 to 1 step, then you got a shot. But that's all you got is a shot.
And I want to clarify, you're not a small dude either.
No,
Before we go any further,
mean,
you're what? 6'3". What are you playing at now? 320?
I'm about 335 right now.
Okay, 335. Yeah, I'm saying you're not a small dude. So for you to say a guy is a big bad man, that's something, folks. If you're a fan of Florida State football, you should be real excited that a guy this big is saying that the defensive line is huge. Ferdy Cordial asks, how did Atkins and Norvell convince you to be a part of the climb?
You got to know him, man. I mean, the fans see Coach Norvell. The same thing y'all see is the same thing we see. Like he's not. It's kind of one of those things where I talk about it all the time, man. You meet Coach Norvell, you know how I'm recruiting, you kind of get a guy that it's not necessarily fake, but that, you know what I'm saying, they don't keep that same energy all the time.
It's the real
you know
pitch
what I'm saying?
Versus like the, once you move in the house kind of pitch.
Exactly. Coach Norvell not like that, man. Yeah. That same energy, that good morning he going to meet you with when you walk in the door and you're on a visit, that same good morning, you're going to get it every day at 6:30 in the morning, we about to go practice. So you kind of, it took me a little bit to get used to, because I'm not a, like I said, I'm not a big caffeine guy in the morning, that kind of thing. I'm not a super high energy guy. So when he meets you in the morning, you got to match him. If you don't, he gonna call you back to him and be like, what's wrong? Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? So he's kind of makes you match his energy. He picks you up for the day, you know, and those kind of things. And then Coach Atkins, man, he's a ball coach, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's proven, man. He takes guys that you would think necessarily shouldn't be where they are, those kind of things. So and makes them elite players. So his track record is great. And it's going to keep continuing to grow. So he speaks for itself.
Yeah, man, and right in that vein, Heinel's got our last question for you. You know, what has been the biggest change in how your position group practices on the day-to-day at FSU since you got here? Like, has it been just what's been the biggest difference from your other program?
Oh, okay, I was about to say nothing. We ain't changed it.
I think the way it worded it seemed like, but I think I view that more as, and I hope I'm asking this right. Yeah, like since coming from Auburn, what's the biggest change in how this offensive line room practices?
Man, offensive lineman, no matter where you're at, it's gonna be dirty. It's gonna be nasty. You're not gonna get a lot of shine. And Coach Atkins just makes it a very, very, very tough environment to be in. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of good guys in the room, a lot of ball players in the room that can play at a high level. So you can't allow yourself to. He won't let you get comfortable. There's no way in the world you can get comfortable with Coach Atkins. So he's gonna make sure you know. He'll tell you good job every now and then, but not a lot. But he's gonna make sure you know what you're doing wrong. So you can't, like I said, you walk into a meeting and it's just like, hopefully you already watched the film or whatever. You already know what's about to come and those kind of things. So he is like he keeps the. I wouldn't even say energy, it's just intensity of it.
Yeah.
He won't let you do the whole like downplay, and he won't whatever when he says what they say the standard, he gonna make sure that's held up, and all the guys in the room do the same, especially the guys that's been there since it's all started. So they know the standard. They make sure they bring in guys that are ready to uphold that standard and those kind of things. So I think they do a pretty good job of keeping elite players in the room and elite people.
That's awesome to hear, man. Well, hey, we appreciate you taking time out of your Monday to come take some fan questions, to sit down with me here in the Battles in studio and talk. And, dude, we got, 7 weeks till game time, 2 weeks till fall camp. And we're excited to see it on the field, man. Thanks for coming by.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate you. Oh, yeah.
I'll get you right here. On it, man. Have a seat. Read this over to you. Folks, that was offensive lineman Keandre Jones joining the Battles in live show. Again, make sure y'all like the video. Get right there for you. Make sure y'all like this video. Make sure that you share it. All the things that get us rolling in the algorithm that supports Florida State athletes. But most importantly, get involved in the NIL program. Go to thebattlesn.com and become a member today. Or, if you're already a member, which so many of you are, and you want to buy the wonderful Grassroots Coffee Battles N blend, go for it. It would be great. We would love your support. We have sold Grassroots Battles N blend in over 15 states already today, and today is our launch day, so that's exciting stuff. But yeah, I'm here with Devonte Brown. Oh, that was great timing. Jordan got that off there perfectly. Well done. Man, it's good to meet you in person. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good, man. Are you a coffee drinker? I asked Keandre that. Coffee guy at all? Or?
Occasionally. I'm not a big coffee drinker, but sometimes I'll, have a little sip or two.
Y'all are teaching me, like, maybe we don't all need to pound energy drinks before our workouts that do not compare to what y'all do at all, if y'all are running into these things without coffee. But, man, let's just dive straight into it. You start your career at UCF, transferred to Miami, and now you're here at Florida State. What's been the biggest difference between Florida State? There's probably been a lot of differences, but what's been the difference that has you most excited to be a part of this program compared to the other ones you've been at headed into 2024?
I would say I feel like what stuck out to me the most, just my time being here when I first got here, just the people in the building and the relationship building. I feel like Coach Norvell does a good job of making sure he emphasizes building relationships and just learning to communicate with everybody in the building. Even if you don't know someone, not walking by, be acting stuck up, just he comes to the building with a lot of energy every day. So I had to get used to that. I still get used to it sometimes, but I feel like that's been a main thing that's stuck out to me. And I feel like that you learn something from that, and relationships, you'll go far.
Yeah, and I always like to ask guys who have played at other programs this, because this is going to shock you. I never played D1 college football. I know.
I didn't know that.
I know. It looks like I was, but I didn't. But when I get the opportunity to go to practice, one thing I notice about Coach Norvell that stands out so much is he'll be floating around playing really that CEO role in the walkie-talkie, making sure things are running,
Right.
and he'll notice like the smallest thing in a drill of really any position group. He'll sprint over and he'll give really detail-oriented instruction or criticism, and just his ability to go from high level down to the super low level stuff. Is that normal for head coaches, or is that something kind of unique to Norvell?
Nah, I wouldn't say that's a normal thing. First of all, I give props to him to even be moving that well.
Yeah.
A lot of coaches, can't even do that. So, but it's been a few times, even with me in the drill, I just see him run over, or he's been watching closely. He'll give me a pointer or a tip, or seeing him run down the field to go coach somebody else. So he's definitely very involved when it comes to that. And in practice, he's everywhere. So.
Did you see a clip of him long snapping even?
Yeah, I did see that. That was kind of impressive.
I know. He hit the square. I was like,
I think Coach he got a little athleticism to him.
of course, Coach knows even how to long snap. But what's been your biggest area that you've focused on your game this spring and into the summer that you think folks will see you've improved the most on in the fall when you're on the field?
With that transition, I've been at safety. So in the spring, I put on some weight. So definitely I put on, I don't remember how much, but around 200 area. I'm going to be in a box more, having to come up and, tackle and make plays in the run. So I got bigger, stronger, trying to get more explosive in the weight room. Throughout the summer, just trying to keep my speed, doing the speed work. Details as far as technique-wise when it comes to covering, because, I'm going to have to cover too. So I feel like trying to sharpen, all the areas of my game so I can be, a well-rounded player when that time comes.
Yeah, and was that something that attracted you to this program when you were looking at how they use the safeties? Because I know that this program does puts the y'all in man a lot and asks the safeties to come up and run fits quite a bit, which is very much an NFL skill. Safeties need to develop. So was that attractive when you were being recruited that you get to do more of that?
Yeah, Coach Pat, that was one thing he first told me when he was recruiting me, because I never played safety. This is my first time, so. He asked would I be willing to do that, and I told him I'll do whatever, to help the team. So that's one area I feel like that I haven't shown I can do yet to the world, but it's definitely something I can do. Come up and tackle and make plays and run. So I'm excited. Just being able to be that commander back there.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Yeah, man, and hopefully, in Ireland we get to see it early and we get to see it often because we are very, very close to that. Did you ever think you'd play a football game in Ireland?
No, never.
Not even glad to watch one there either. Jerry's got a question for us again, folks. Throw them in the chat. Super chats do get priority, though. Thank you, James B. and Z Chan, for those earlier. Davonte, which receiver has been the hardest to go up against so far?
I would say I'm gonna say this. I didn't do a lot of one-on-ones with a lot of receivers yet, but I have done like releases and stuff like that. And I would say Jalen Lucas is real quick coming off the ball with his releases. And, elusive, slippery, and I like it. Malik Benson too. I would say those are two guys that I like. Even Hakeem, I did some releases with him too.
Yeah.
I feel like we got some explosive receivers, and they ready to put that on display real soon. So.
Yeah, I mean, again, we ask who's the hardest receiver to cover, and you've got to name four guys because this is such a diverse receiver room. Again, everything from Jalen Lucas down at 5'8", but absolutely blazes down the field, up to guys who are Kentron at 6'5", Darren Williamson, true 6'4" guy in big bodies. So how helpful is that for your development just to have all those different types of dudes to work against every day?
When you're going against those types of dudes, you got to have a toolbox as a DB. And what I mean by that is you can't come up with the same game plan every time you go against them. So it kind of helps you, dig deep in your bag to, see how can I stop a quicker guy. Should I try to get hands on? Should I play a little more passive? Bigger guys, you might feel like you should move your feet more or give more space. You might not have to use your hands, or just trying to figure out what works for you, and being able to have that toolbox you can go to, and use all those different techniques to kind of see, what can slow these guys down because, like I said, they're explosive.
Yeah, not a lot of slowing a lot of these guys down. I mean, they're going to move fast, but y'all aren't slow yourselves on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, no thought about that.
Coach just talked about those GPS numbers.
Yeah.
The amount of guys y'all have hitting over 20 miles an hour. Was it like 18 guys or something this spring hit over 20 miles an hour?
That's what I heard.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy speed.
Got some guy.
We got one more super chat from James B, and we'll take one more after that, and then we'll let you get out of here. James B, Davonte, very broad question. Appreciate it, James. How you feel about the defensive squad overall?
Overall, I feel like we're trying to come in and make a statement this year. Know they did big things last year and stopped a lot of teams, but we hungry definitely. I feel like we got guys on the defense, ready to prove themselves too. Even younger guys too, ready to take on bigger roles, and even the older guys just ready to lead. But I feel like we're hungry, and trying to just be the best we can be the best defense we can be. To help the offense, win games.
Is it just like is it coaching? Is it the culture in the room? What is it that seems to have this situation where last year's defense was absolutely incredible. I mean, I'm sure you've seen it on tape. I'm sure the older guys have told you about it. We all saw it, 13 games. But no one on y'all's team is really resting on that, right? And just expecting, oh, well, they were good, so we're going to be good. It's almost like their success has fueled this hunger in y'all to prove you're just as good, if not better. Is that coaching that drives that? Is that culture? Is that player? I mean, where does that hunger after such an accomplished year and not being complacent come from?
I want to say you can give some of that credit to the coaches. Just, keep holding that standard. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to the players and the defense. You want a player-led team, so if you don't have dogs that's hungry, then no matter what coach calls, it won't work. So I feel like as long as we all on one accord and focused, and we go out there with a mindset to eat and basically dominate, I feel like nobody gonna be able to stop us.
Dude, I love hearing that. I mean, that just gets me so excited to be there and have August 24th show up, turn the TV on, and watch y'all bring that. Last one from C Money, a fun one. Who on Miami are you most excited to tackle when you're playing against them this year?
Ooh, that's a good one. It might be a few more than one.
Yeah.
I guess built great relationship with those guys over there, so that's definitely looking forward to that game. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna say though, Mark Fletcher. I'm gonna say Jacoby George.
Okay.
Receiver. Who else? Xavier Restrepo too. Slippery guy.
Yeah, he's quick.
Yeah.
He was...
Isaiah Horton, the receiver. But they got some guys on the offense, but that game would definitely be interesting.
Yeah.
But,
a couple you're ready to say hey to again, but from the other side this time.
Yeah, from the other side.
Put some full hits on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Devonte, man, we are really, really excited to see you in the Garnet and Gold. Excited to see what the season brings. I mean, again, hearing you talk about just the hunger and the work the defense is putting in and how y'all are approaching it. Just, again, I'm fired up. I know all the fans are really excited, and we appreciate you taking time out of your Monday to come by. And, yeah, man, thanks a lot.
Thank you for having me.
Sorry, we figured out how to move them over. It works. Appreciate it, bro.
Yes, sir. Bye.
All right, see ya. And yeah, folks, we have a shorter show for you tonight. That's actually going to do it for us. Coming right back from 4th of July. We're going to end it on our two guests tonight. We appreciate y'all stopping by. Next week we'll be back with a full slate. But again, the guys had their one break of the summer before they're geared up for 2 more weeks of lifts and workouts, and then they are right into fall camp. So this was, again, bit of a shorter episode tonight, but informative all the same. Love talking to Keiondre, love talking to Davonte, and if y'all aren't as excited as I am, then for the season, I don't know what to tell you. So again, if y'all want to make sure that you directly support Florida State football players, go to thebattlesend.com. Check out our corporate sponsors on there. Buy products from them. They're co-branded with us. That directly supports the athletes, and most importantly, become a member of The Battles End, and tune in next Monday for next week's summer Q&A.